dig? Listen to it. You hear me? Yeah. We pass through that every day, you dig? We just don't want to get stuck in that, you hear me? So we follow them scriptures, we follow the commandments, we do these works, keep our faith up, you hear me? It's either or, you know what I'm saying? Righteous or wicked. You feel me? It's truthful life, 100% of faith. Abraham's bosom or waiting the lake. I chose the fire, not to turn a fire to fire. That shows I have the requirements that's required. Works, faith, and conviction to pack the boat with circles on in your face. Patience, even with the burner on your waist. Tongue your cheek and show love, that's what the burner on your waist. Diligence, temperance, kindness to your brother, treat him like yourself. And treat her like your mother. He said, do these things and your team gon' run. Unless you would be assured that you will find no more. Scrooge ain't over. Peter gave me the blueprint. I gon' pass through the fire, but Peter gave me the Kool-Aid. The plastic gon' burn up, the wood gon' burn up. By the 100 man, the kingdom gon' turn up. I feel a war coming, so I bring warriors to the body. You can teach us, you bring doctors, but I don't want to die. Fight hard and love hard. You better ask somebody. Gon' place a higher for acts that'll blast somebody. Real talk. Real true, I still love full time, but I'm part-time. Shoot, I grab the path through the fire, cause I'm knowing hell high. Young P's a real truth, I pray I make it past melt sometimes. Yeah, the ball you saw a mouth. Kwame Yashala, I appreciate the beat, man. Trying to wake up our people and keep our people motivated, you feel me? Real talk, real Judah, you feel me? I love when Hebrews get together and make classes. This is about edifying the body. Precept on precept, body edification coming soon. Real talk, real spit, real truth.
Welcome. Let me get this a little bit more so my brothers in the building. Yeah, so welcome to Hebrew State of Being. We are your humble host and servants for the night. Yes. I am Kayel.
And I am Oba.
Yeah. Welcome to, the spicy night.
You know what it is.
Y'all know what tonight is. It's
cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite subject.
Bravo. Subject. How did we lose our promised land? How did we get in the place that we are? How'd
you get snatched up? You got appropriated.
Yeah, that's what the snatch up is.
You became somebody's property.
Very well said. Very well said. Mm-hmm. So, we've been reading the book of Maccabees, but first we got to say, coming out of the Feast of Dedication.
Yes. Just ended on the 10th.
Yes, just ended on the 10th. It was an amazing feast time. All praises to the Most High. Yes. We were able to go to Pocahontas Mound during the feast.
And rededicate the mound.
Yeah, rededicated that mound.
Because the mound was appropriated.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's federal land, so I don't know if you can say appropriated better than that. It's
completely appropriated. So, we went and we rededicated the mound.
The mound.
To the people, to the indigenous people,
Yes. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience.
It was.
To be there and then to read in the station there, I guess you can call that the information station for Pocahontas, where they gave you the dates and what it was actually done for, and the artifacts that they found there. And the artifacts that they found there were oyster shells, food, charcoal, so they found
stuff that you would find here, pretty much.
Yeah, stuff they used, not charcoal, but the stuff they used to light flames at that time. You know what I'm saying? They still call it brick. So all of those things, so they concluded that this was a place that all tribes came to meet and have their feast days. They didn't say holiday.
Feast.
It specifically said feast days.
Yes.
Now we know in reading scripture, and we've brought to you guys that there are two types of pyramids. And scripture speaks on both of those pyramids. one, the earthwork pyramids in which he ordained, and then the shoe pyramid, shoot stone, hewn stone. I always say shoe, hewn stone that we have present in Egypt.
The ones that are cut straight, perfect geometrical cuts.
Yes.
Most High said, nope, it's supposed to be earthen.
Earthen, yes. So these mounds are not just another link to our indigenous roots, but actually as another physical connection to the people believing in the Torah, believing in the Most High, being Hebrews, because they followed the manuscript of how to build these mounds by the Most High. So, I mean, that's not a, you don't have to be a Harvard graduate to make those connections.
Actually, that might complicate things.
Yeah, if you're Harvard, you probably add up all of this crazy lies that they've been spewing in higher education. So they may be conflicted with that knowledge base with reality. I mean, a lot of people get knowledge and reality
all mixed up.
You know what I'm saying? They really get that thing flipped up.
Every day, bro.
Yeah. So, the Feast of Dedication, which is what we're reading about in the book of Maccabees, it is when Hebrews rose up and pushed back the Romans and took over our temple and were able to rededicate it to the Most High. That's why it's called the Feast of Dedications, and why we have a 7-candle candelabra in our faith, which is the menorah. You'll see many out there that may have 12, 9, but the Hebrews, it was 7, and the Feast of Dedication actually gives the explanation of why 7, because it took them 8 days to rededicate the temple, and the oil that was in the lamps actually lasted an additional day, which was not supposed to happen because they did not put enough in there to last that long, and it still lasted. So that's why it's 8 days of the dedication. So that's the history and the facts to why our menorah has 7 candlesticks, and why we are dedicating, and what the Feast of Dedication is about during this time in the winter. So that is what we just came out of, and if you guys been rocking with us, then I know you've gone through that with us. So for all of you that had your first Feast of Dedications, man, we want to give you a shouts out and congratulations, and say, man, hold steady, hold fast, as we are getting into the wicked days. You know what I mean?
The holiday season.
The holiday. So days coming upon us, right? So
a lot of pressure.
Be steadfast in your faith. So we're gonna get into, which seems to be, we're into numbers and everything. It is 1Maccabees chapter 11 tonight. So that's a special number. And my brother is really somebody's really getting into the book of Maccabees.
It's serious, y'all. This is as much drama as you could possibly need.
Yeah.
If you went to soap opera type of drama, it gets to that tonight. It's out of control.
Yes.
People taking people's wives and switching them out and playing the old switcheroo and backstabbing. And if you need the drama, you don't have to go to ABC, NBC, or Fox, or none of that stuff. You ain't got to watch what's that thing called with Lucius?
Empire.
You ain't got to watch no Empire, baby. No, you got to check into Apocrypha.
You know the difference between what they do and what's in here? And it's going to seem similar. It's very much drama, very much wives and these people having attitudes, and very secular, so to speak.
Yeah.
But you know the difference is that on their shows, they don't give you an answer.
No, just give you all the drama.
Yeah, just give you all the drama, and then send you out into the world and say, go figure it out.
Enjoy.
Well, Lucian looked real cool when he smacked him. You know what I'm saying?
So that's where it ended.
Right.
So I guess I'm programmed to just look cool today. Smack him.
You know what I'm saying? That's they
don't give you enough of the story.
Nor do the churches on Sunday when they give you very short passages. You need to go through the whole verse. Sometimes you need to go through the whole chapter. You got to go through multiple verses in there. You can't just take a snippet and then run with it.
Like, we're going to give you a whole sermon for an hour based off of this verse. That's all right.
Really? So, tonight we're going to get into that. But first, being cultural appropriation, right? I had the Most High spoke to me a little bit, right? Don't worry, it won't be like last Friday when I read, and we all know what happened. So, won't be like that. Don't worry, it wasn't like that. So, Most High gave me a little extra. So I called my sister Tamara. Shouts out to you, T. And I said, this is what I'm feeling. Help me with some precepts to what is happening, what we're going through, and where clearly the Most High has us going. So we're going to take a couple of those and read those off tonight and kind of give a little bit. So let me give you to set up the context for this, right? So the context is we have to realize how serious the work of the Most High is. We cannot take it like other jobs. You cannot do kingdom work with the mentality of government work. it just doesn't work. And our precept for that is Cain and Abel for tonight. And how we handle doing the work the wrong way, right? Cain and Abel, we all know them, right? And most of us hear the story, that Cain killed Abel and all these things, and he was banished, but very rarely do we understand the backstory of why he did this killing. Both of them had to give their tithe to the Most High, not to a priest, not to a pastor, no man. Remember, there ain't that many of them. This is God's creatures. He just created them. They're the first, children of his creation. So they were tithing to him. Abel was the field, the fruits, the vegetables, and Cain was the animals. They both had to give their tithes to the Most High. Abel gave the best of his crops. Cain gave the back ass of the meat, right, literally. And the Most High asked him, he said, your brother brings me the best of his. Why is it that you give me the least of yours? Now, instead of Cain being a rational person and say, whoa, I know I got forgiveness in you, Most High, knowing that we are your child, he acted just like a adolescent child. He laid up there and said, well, the only competition I've really got here is my brother. So if I lay up there and kill him...
As if the Most High don't know.
Like, as he don't see all of this, right? So he goes to Abel, he goes to Cain and says, where's your brother? See, I don't know, am I my brother's keeper? That's where that comes from, right? Am I my brother's keeper? That's how he responds to the Most High. Yeah. Am I my brother's keeper? Nigga, like, where you at? I don't know.
Like, that's your twin.
Yes.
Yeah, you are your brother's keeper.
Yes. Sarcasm. So he says, I hear Cain's blood screaming from the soil.
Yeah. Earth speaks.
So that's what our premise is on tonight. Understanding that the work that we're doing is for the Most High. If we don't till our fields and take care of our crops, we may eat bad, but we're also giving the worst to the Most High. Yes. So you cannot juxtapose life when you're walking in this walk with your kingdom work. You got to go
above and beyond.
I think even says in scripture that you have to be laborious in his word.
Yes.
So anyway, this is
go hard.
Yeah,
in this day and age, that would translate into go hard.
Yes. So now we're gonna tie this up. So you got the context of that. How does that fit into cultural appropriation? You say. Well, when you do get it right, and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, people will try and take shots at the throne. They try to recreate what you do. They try to be a facsimile of you. Yes. Because see, when you stop giving your best to the Most High, guess who becomes Cain? Your competitors? Your disgruntled employees? Oh, it goes down. Right? So appropriation happens when you take your eye off of the Most High. See, that is why our culture is the way it is. It's the reason why we went into captivity in the first place, because we wanted to be like others. We wanted to know what it was to believe in Baal. We wanted to know what it was to believe in Thoth and the Egyptian pharaohs. I mean, heck, they were the bosses. I mean, we were the slaves to them. They were eating pretty good. So if they God got them as kings over us, then maybe I should, I should check this thing out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should get into this Egypt thing. But you were already wrong. Remember Cain? You were already wrong by not giving the Most High what you're supposed to. So instead you kill your brother. So now in the case of being in captivity because you didn't follow the Most High, you double down and follow their gods and say, well, maybe their gods will take care of me. If I pray to their gods, then they'll be happy about that, and then they'll give me they'll shuck me out some shekels. They'll pin me out. Because that builds that man worship. When you allow man to reward you, if you're not looking for your reward to come from the Most High, if you're not doing the work for the Most High to reward you, hence giving him the best, you may want the best in return.
Yeah.
I like good things. I like the finer things in life. How about you, my brother? Do you like the finer
I
things?
like the best.
Fine Egyptian.
My mama raised
Leonard.
me to want the best.
To want the best. It actually says in here that we're supposed to have the best. It's the covenant. We follow him, he gives us the best. Oh my goodness. I know that was a lot of arithmetic right there. I know that was a lot of mathematications. There's a lot of mathematication right there.
Calculation.
But that's actually how this thing works. So, how do we work then? All right, we got the concept. But how do we work? So, let's read this Jeremiah 23:13 through 16. Jeremiah 13 to 16. It says, woe unto him that buildeth a house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that useth his neighbor's servants without wages, and giveth him not for his work. That said, I will build me a wide house and a large chambers, and cutteth him out windows, and it is sealed with cedar, and painted with vermilion. Shalt thou reign because thou closest thyself in cedar? Did not thy father eat and drink and do judgment and justice, and then it was well with him? He judged thee because of the poor and needy. Then it was well with him was not to know, Then it was well with him. Was not this to know me, said the Lord? He's saying, is it not to know me and do it that way? Does it not fall proper? To do as he do, you will reign. You don't have to hide yourself, or you don't have to protect yourself. You have to go out and do the work.
Yes.
It's going to get big. I'm telling you, that little ball, that little pebble,
It's going to grow.
grows when you do his
Snowball
work.
effect.
Because that's the covenant. If you do a little, he'll do a lot. I guarantee you, you do a little, he's going to do a lot. Then some of us, when we do the lot, we realize we're walking on water, and we're like, oh Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we go down. Down goes Frazier.
Yeah.
Like Mally say, don't look to the left, nor to the right.
Walk to the light.
Yes. Keep your eyes on him. So, and from there we go to Philippians, which is really gets in how I want to get it in. Right? So Philippians, and I really want you, Philippians 2, chapter 2, 1 through 16. If there be therefore any consolation in Yahushua, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels and mercies, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. That's what a comfort is. You know what I'm saying? Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. So don't do it out of pain. Do it out of joy for the Most High. When it's laborious and you're tired and you're weary, call on Him to give you the strength. Say you're doing it out of joy and out of the love for Him, and watch yourself and your body and your mind be replenished.
Yes.
And then He also said, don't do it for vainglory. Don't say, I'm a battle axe, I'm going to stay on the grind because everybody going to see me. They're going to love, boy, look at here, boy, watch. No,
Yeah.
that's not why you do it. But in lowlessness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which also in Yahushua, who being in the form of the Most High, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High. No. But made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant.
Wow. That's real.
When you do it, and you're looking for somebody to pat you on the back, know that you're not doing it the way the Most High wants, and know that that's where your reward ends, with that pat on the back of that person. That's it. I hope it's all you wanted. I hope it's all you needed. I like it a little more. But anyway, and it said, a servant, and was made in the likeness of man. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. I want to say tree, because that's how he really died, on a tree, not a cross. Wherefore the Most High also had highly exalted him, and given him a name which is above every name, that a name of Yahushua every knee should bow, and things in heaven, and things in earth, and things under the earth. Note this. The Most High talks often about things being in the earth. We're not talking about bugs. We're not talking about earthwork bugs. It says in the earth and things under the earth. Really listen to these words. And that every tongue should confess that Yahushua is Lord, and the glory of his Father the Most High. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as my presence only, not in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Work out your own. For it is the Most High which worketh in you, both to will and to do of his good and pleasure.
Yes.
Do all things with murmurings. I'm sorry. Do all things without murmurings and disputing. As I just said, do not do it out of, all right, I'm doing it. That ye may be blameless and harmless, the Son of the Most High, without rebuke, and in the middle of the crooked and perverse nations, among whom shine as light in the world. We shine as lights in this world. Most High knows that we're in iniquity. He knows that we're being hit left and right. He's clear on this. And he's telling you how to go through this. Holding forth the word of life, that I may rejoice in the day of the Most High, and that I have not run in vain, neither labored in vain. Yea, and if I be offered upon the sacrifice, and service of your faith, I joy and rejoice with you all. For the same cause also do ye joy and rejoice with me. Saying the Most High does the same thing. He feels the same pain. He goes through it with us. He sees through our eyes. But I trust in the Most High Yahweh to send to Timotheus shortly unto you, that I also be a good comfort when I know your state. For I have no man like-minded who will naturally care for your state. For all seek to own not the things which are Yahweh, but ye know the proof of him, that as the Son of the Most High, he hath served with me in the gospel. Him therefore I hope to send presently, so soon as I shall see how it will go with me. But I trust in the Most High, that also myself shall come shortly. Yet I suppose it necessary. Ooh, I was supposed to stop at 16. I got caught up. I was supposed to stop at 16. I'm already at 20. But the point of 16, hold forth thy word of life, that I may rejoice in the day of the Most High, that I have not run in vain, neither labored in vain. The work that you do for the Most High when you're doing His kingdom work, it is no excuse needed. He knows why you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Whatever that is.
Oh, yeah.
You have to reconcile that with yourself. And then work doubly hard. Because He gives us repentance. He is salvation. He is the one that continues to say, I got you. Yes. Your boss not. He may fire you. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? That's why we don't work on those rules. Did I say rules?
Yeah.
That brings us to our next point. You cannot say that you love the Most High and you're doing this work out of love when you do it begrudgingly, as it just stated. You cannot do it out of vain if you love Him. I ask you this. A woman that works a double shift, right? Comes home, a child is already asleep. Stays up and puts together a bicycle so that child can wake up in the morning and have joy, knowing that she has to wake up for 5:30 and won't even see his face. When she putting that bike together, you think she's like, God damn it, this boy, I gotta screw him.
No.
You think that energy is transferred into that?
No, I think it's love.
It's
excitement.
Love. When you're weary in this walk, in this work, He will give you that strength. But you got to remember who you're doing it for. Because if not, you might just mail it in. You know what I'm saying? You may just think it's just some things I'm doing.
The thought counts, they say, right?
The intent, like my brother said, the intent is everything. This is from a man that was shot more than 5 times, saw the light, spoke to the Most High, or Gabriel, whoever it was at the light that he saw, and told him about his intent. Gave him the opportunity to come back or go, because he had good intent, and he still came back. I don't know, some days I'll be like, I'll be fine. I see y'all in the next dimension, baby.
Yeah. It's gotta be something else.
It's gotta be something else. But it's real though. So let's get, because I want to keep going. So we're going to get to this John 4.
Yep. 1 John 4, verse 8.
Yeah. Oh, that's St. John. Well, I didn't realize they had that many Johns. That's one y'all to know.
John goes hard.
Yeah, John goes hard. Just I thought I had my first John mark. And I do not. So anyway, I'm gonna pull it up right quick.
Yeah, it's all good. It's right. Where's John 4:8?
Yes, got it.
First one. 1 John 4:8. He that loveth not knoweth not the Most High, for the Most High is love. Wow.
Simple.
If you don't love, you
don't
don't know
know
the
him.
Most High.
So you can do all that labor's work in vain. You can double down on it. You can do all that work and get nothing in return.
That's pretty painful, man. You know, folks are spinning the wheels in that case.
Yes, they are.
That's not cool.
So we take that as a precept into John 14, 1 through 21. Why don't you take the first, so 10.
Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And whither I go, ye know, and the way ye know. Thomas said unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way?
You know, doubting Thomas. You know Thomas.
Yeah, the doubter.
Yeah.
Yahushua said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father. And from henceforth ye know him, and have seen him. Philip said unto him, Lord, shew us the Father, and it sufficeth us. Yahushua said unto him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, Show us the Father? Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works.
The works is the common theme here, and how you do the works. If you don't believe who you're doing the work for, you don't believe the works that you're seeing, you don't believe the Ruach HaKodesh and the Holy Spirit and what it does in your life, if you've never felt that, then I'm not quite sure you are doing the work for the Most High. You may be doing it for many reasons. Vanity, whoever knows, man. Who cares? At the end of the day, really. Who cares why you're doing it? Believe it me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me. Or else believe me for very work's sake. Verily, verily I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the work that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And whosoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. So if you're going to call out the name to get it done, you might want to get to know him, might want to get a little closer, may want to do the work in the righteous manner. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
That's right after.
Yes. It says, if ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
That's the catch. There's always a catch in everything. Nothing's free. This is the clause in the contract. You want all that stuff? You want this life? You want this? You want this? Well, this is, you want it this way? This is the way.
And he'll let you build it. to somebody else appropriate it. Because you got to keep your eye. And I will pray, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter that may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. So Most High is saying the truth is in you. You may want to be something else. You may really like the way others are getting down and what they're doing. But you're going to know in you because the truth is already placed in you. I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you yet a little while, and the world seeth me no more. But ye see me, because I live. Ye shall live also. At the day ye shall know that I am in my Father, and you in me, and I in you. That doesn't sound like the pagan trinity right there. That sounds something like a direct line to me.
Yeah.
He that hath my commandments and keep them, it is that loveth me. And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father. And I will love him and will manifest myself unto him.
That's deep. The love and the commandments kind of go together.
It goes together. See, order. It's all about order. I don't care where you go. Even in the places that say there is no order, there is order to that. Nothing grows without an order. It can grow, but it won't bear fruit. It'll show, but it'll be tainted. You have to want to be more every day. Because if you don't, then you will succumb to the society's pacifiers. You dig? Because you've given up on that anacawana. You've given up on having that golden flower. So you say, I'll just drink this. I'll just take this. I'll just read something because
justifying, you know?
Yeah, just justifying. You know, we were talking with some brothers the other night. I want y'all to be clear that there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Major.
Big difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Major.
You can know the absolute dimensions of every piece of the puzzle. You can know who manufactured the puzzle. You can even find out the think tank that put together the theme for the pieces of the puzzle. You can find out who marketed the puzzle. But if you can't put the pieces together with wisdom,
it is all for naught.
It is for naught. Knowledge does not equate to wisdom. And excuses wrapped in wisdom. I love those. I love the excuses that give you a beratement of knowledge, but doesn't answer the question. And then they give you because I don't believe in God, I don't believe in this overbearing figure, so I don't want to tell you what you should do. Because you ain't figured it out neither. You know what I'm saying?
You know, my mama always really kept it so 100 with me, bruh. You know, and I always hear this battle happening, you know, because I'm inevitably always around feminine energy, you know. And there's always this battle happening, like, man, I'm not reading about in that book. And I'm like, well, have you read the book?
Where's the spoon?
Because my mama is such an OG when it comes to that book. And she be having them, like, she's such a G. And I'm like, I don't know what people are reading. Like, but I'm like, it's not your book. It's not your book. It's not your book. Finally get it. It took me a long, long, long time. But if you don't identify with it because you haven't read it, or I don't even know what to say, you know. But you got to get to it. At least find out instead of writing it off and signing on to something that is not designed for you.
Give you a quick equation. If you build something, or how the best way I could put this? If you build something that is not of the intent of helping, doing good, prospering for your family, and it's just to be heralded in this world, right? If you're doing things just so that you can, not pay for your family, but to ride the way you want to, or to have a pool in your backyard, if your intentions are worldly, and you build this company for these worldly desires, then you are setting yourself up to be appropriated.
Yeah, it's the okie doke, what they call it in the hood.
Right. You're setting yourself up to be appropriated, because in order for you to do what we just said, to get those riches and to make it something that mass people want, then you have to build something that falls in line with the machine that they've created that has the masses wrapped in.
Yeah.
That's why you don't have rap music that sounds like something other than what's on the radio. Let me rephrase that. That's why the radio sounds like a repetitive song over and over again. Because there is a hamster wheel, which is the radio that everybody is on, and if they introduce anything new to it, they don't have control over anything else new.
No, they actually can't. We have conversations with radio people from all over the nation that are the best in the top.
Yeah.
And they all say, and these are people that got position. You hear about them, you're like, oh, that person's the. All they say is, I have no control over pretty much anything. I literally have the song list. I just hit the play button. I could talk in between, and even that, they give me a list of stuff to say.
And I can talk if it hasn't been paid for, if that time slot has been paid for by somebody that they have to endorse. So that hamster wheel, they can't introduce anything else to it because one, they don't control it, so funds will be leaving the hamster wheel. That can't happen.
So your song ain't getting on.
Right. So we just use the music as an example, but it's anything that you do. If you're building it for a hamster wheel, and then you're trying to get on that hamster wheel, and from the outside, the hamster wheel looks like it's going 50 miles per hour. You hop in it, that bad boy going 170. Yeah. All your stuff is flying up in the air.
You ain't trained for that yet.
You ain't trained for that.
Hitting that corner.
And they just got a little machine that just collects all of your little dough.
Yep.
All
They
your
give
money.
you little tiny shekels. Like, take that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So don't be confused of why it's so easy to be appropriated.
People watch behind the music, bro. We ain't even got to talk about this kind of thing.
No.
They watch behind the music. They know that it don't really matter what color you are either. So don't think like this is just some brothers out here on a soapbox,
Right?
Said about some things that done happened for over 400 plus years.
Yep.
No, we passed that.
Yep. But we're about to go into the Maccabees. We're gonna play this one song, and then we're gonna go into our Maccabees and get it going.
That's gracious.
But understand, man, appropriation happens because we lose our intent. The intent is the eye on the Most High. Keep your intent, and that'll spawn your work ethic. And when you get tired, you reach to Him, and He will give you the strength. Or He'll make a way to bring you help. Trust me, He does that. Right into the kingdom. Yes. We want to get to the finish line and fall right into the kingdom, my brother says. Yes.
I did it.
Truth? Is that truth?
Got a lot of friends over here tonight.
Yes, everybody's in the building.
Checked in. What up, everybody?
I guess we should shout out Dawanetta in the building, Erica in the building, Yakar Yasharala in the building.
What up,
Yes, Nick. Foods of creation. We got Raisha. Lions in the building. Eddie in the building. Lee. Yes. $4 in the building. Big G. Yes. Robert Pack in the building. Vanessa Hopkins. Yes. Kilmore Trip. My brother. Love you, man. Yes. Kiki Brown in the building. And Evelyn, our soldier. Big Chief Bo Dean in the building. We are humbled and honored by the chiefs in the building. Evelyn Tucker, my queen in the building. Wait, Jermaine Mack, what's up? How you doing, queen? Yes, you got your car. Sharonda in the building, yes. Lori Wilderson, Lori Jupiter, what's up? Yawan in the building, my brother. Kiara in the building. Elishiva Imam in the building. Gerald in the building. Yes, Chris Oates, my brother. Yes, Coco. How are you doing, Coco? Yes, you won. Jeremy Big Chief Black. We got 3 Big Chiefs in the building. Kiara, I forgot her already. Harriet, yes. Yes, Omar, my brother. Yes. Oh, praises, man, for everybody in the building tonight, man. I got to walk with me. Yes.
Series, y'all. If you don't have an apocrypha, get one. Get one. Read the stories. You don't ever gotta read Lord of the Rings. You don't gotta read none of that.
The real history right here.
It's got all of it. All of it. You're gonna be like, yo, they stole that story.
Wow. Especially Sparta.
What? That
Troy.
300 story?
All stolen from us.
First off, that looks like a black NFL team.
Yeah, rock. We got our Instagram in the building. What's up, Brandon? Brandon Jennifer. We got our Instagram popping. We
popping, YouTube popping.
Alana, yes, Alana in the building. A test.
Download it on your phone.
Take them. I can't remember that. Yeah. Send us a message. Glad y'all tuning in, man. We got YouTube going. We got Instagram. We got Facebook. And y'all know Friday. We'll be at WBOK, baby, on the radio airways.
Free Friday. Shabbat Friday.
Shabbat Friday. Love it.
Yeah, Freedom Friday.
That's right. Freedom Friday. Shabbat. Shalom. Show me the way. We are now getting into this Maccabees chapter 11.
Maccabees chapter 11. 1 Maccabees chapter 11. And the king of Egypt gathered together a great host, like the sand that lieth upon the seashore, and many ships, and went about through deceit to get Alexander's kingdom and join it to his own.
Yeah.
The king is Ptolemy right now.
Right. Now remember in the last chapter, they had a bidding war for Judah's alliance. Right? Both kings went back and forth offering him all kind of things, but he ultimately went with Alexander because Alexander came to him first and came to him honest with, sincerity.
Whereupon he took his journey into Syria in peaceable manner, so as they of the cities opened unto him and met him, for King Alexander had commanded them so to do, because he was his father-in-law. Now as Ptolemy entered into the cities, he set in every one of them a garrison of soldiers to keep it. And when he came near Azotus, they shewed him the temple of Dagon that was burnt, and Azotus and the suburbs thereof that were destroyed, and the bodies that were cast abroad, and them that he had burnt in the battle, for they had made heaps of them by the way where he should pass.
Yes.
Jonathan went in, y'all.
Yeah.
He don't just battle halfway. His brother Judah Maccabee
Showed him the
he
way.
He goes all the way in.
Yeah. And by the way, if you guys please pick up Apocrypha, 2Maccabees is somewhat the same story, but it's in grander fashion. It actually gives you details of things like Judah picking up a 800-pound boulder.
I don't be
and
giving them
throwing
don't
it.
give nothing away.
I love 2Maccabees, but go ahead.
Don't give it away.
You're
You gotta
right,
go get that. Because you can get it for free on your phone.
That's right. You can download things from my brother.
Don't be giving away. That's already free. Yeah, tell the whole thing. No, yeah.
Instead of Angry Birds, we got something else for you to download angrily. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Also, they told the king whatsoever Jonathan had done, to the intent he might blame him. But the king held his peace. Mm-hmm. Then Jonathan met the king with great pomp at Joppe, where they saluted one another and lodged. Mm-hmm. Afterward, Jonathan, when he had gone with the king to the river called Eleutherus, returned again to Jerusalem. King Ptolemy, therefore, having gotten the dominion of the cities by the sea unto Seleucia upon the seacoast, imagined wicked counsels against Alexander.
Yes.
Wow, that's his son-in-law.
Yeah.
Weird.
He's like, look here, man. I know you kicked it
That's
with
his
Alexander and
son-in-law. He
everything.
just gave his daughter to this brother, and now he's got wicked counsel against him? Mm-hmm. Whereupon he sent ambassadors unto King Demetrius, saying, Come, let us make a league betwixt us, mm-hmm. and I will give thee my daughter whom Alexander hath, and thou shalt reign in thy father's kingdom.
Now, he's about to take his daughter from Alexander and give him to Demetri. Now, Demetri was the one that lost the bidding war with Judah, and then we went with Alexander. Oh, these boys is wild.
Wow.
Ptolemy about it.
Yeah. This is Cleopatra too, right?
Yeah.
Verse 10.
And that's why the queen is Cleopatra,
This is
by the way.
Cleopatra we're talking about. Everybody that's so excited about Cleopatra?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, this is why she was had so much lore in history, because it went down behind her.
Oh,
yeah.
Y'all, this is our history book. Mm-hmm. Verse 10. For I repent that I gave my daughter unto him, for he sought to slay me. Thus did he slander him, because he was desirous of his kingdom. Mm-hmm. Wherefore he took his daughter from him and gave her to Demetrius, and forsook Alexander, so that their hatred was openly known.
Like, let it be what it be, partner. I done clicked up. I'm letting you know.
Yep. Then Ptolemy entered into Antioch, where he set 2 crowns upon his head, the crown of Asia and the crown of Egypt.
Now, whoa. You gotta see my boy playing hard. You don't think he snatching daughters from one king to the other just because, he just don't like it. Now, my man going for the power move.
Bruh.
So all of Asia,
Wow.
we talking China, North and South Korea. Yeah, all of Asia.
Everywhere, Philippines, wherever there's people with eyes that don't look like yours.
Yeah, boy was about it. So let's go. And then all the way to Egypt. Yeah.
14. In the mean season was King Alexander in Cilicia, because those that dwelt in those parts had revolted from him. But when Alexander heard of this, he came to war against him. Whereupon King Ptolemy brought forth his host and met him with a mighty power and put him to flight. So Alexander fled to Arabia, there to be defended, but King Ptolemy was exalted.
Now, I want to start once I get a prefix for this. I want to do it quick. Last session, we talked about us as Judah, us as a people, not getting enamored when people come and pat us on the back. When it seems like, oh, I got the in line with the banking clique. You know what I'm talking about? Or I got the in line with the nonprofit clique. You know what I'm talking about? Don't get confused if you become the hot item of the month. They still gonna get you. They're only using you, Judah, as usual, as a power piece in their fight against each other. Don't ever forget that they always fight each other as well. They only come confederate when it's against us.
Yes.
Because we are powerful enough to defeat all. So now, just in chapter 10, Judah was the toast. Everybody was trying to get with him. You had these two kingdoms that was going great. They loved each other. Soon as Judah got on one side and showed power to the other side, the Jews said, hold up. Let's see if we can make this happen. Now this is too much. Alexander's going to get too big. And then they kicked Alexander out. So he went double-cross his own partner. Go ahead.
This is deep, y'all. Verse 17. For Zabdiel the Arabian took off Alexander's head and sent it unto Ptolemy. So Alexander's gone now, guys.
Yeah. He ain't got to worry about not having that wife anymore.
Yeah. King Ptolemy also died the third day after, and they that were in the strongholds were slain one of another.
So they all perished. For greed.
Yeah. By this means, Demetrius reigned in the 167th year.
Demetrius came out like a fat rat.
Why? He like,
He
why?
lost the bidding war.
You did?
But then everybody killed
I got
each other.
wifey now. I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah. Man.
That's how Elizabeth Taylor became Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Because Demetrius was left with everything.
Yeah. That's why she's Caucasian, because Demetrius. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. At the same time, Jonathan gathered together them that were in Judea to take the tower that was in Jerusalem, and he made many engines of war against it. Then certain ungodly persons who hated their own people went unto the king and told him that Jonathan besieged the tower. Whereof, when he heard, he was angry, and immediately removing, he came to Ptolemy and wrote unto Jonathan that he should not lay siege to the tower, but come and speak with him at Ptolemy in great haste.
That man, talk to me before you go ahead and do all of that.
Don't,
man.
man.
You know it's gonna make me look bad. I'm king of Asia, Egypt right now. You still
You can't be rocking that hard.
Can't do that.
Verse 23. Nevertheless, Jonathan, when he heard this, commanded to besiege it still, and he chose certain of the elders of Israel and the priests, and put himself in peril, and took silver and gold and raiment and divers presents besides, and went to Ptolemy unto the king, where he found favor in his sight.
So he didn't listen to the king, did what he had to do, and the king said, oh, it's all good. Why? Because we have the power. When we stop asking other people to give us power, you will see them fall in line.
You'll step into it.
Go ahead, my brother.
And those certain ungodly men of the people had made complaints against him, yet the king entreated him, at his predecessors had gone before, and promoted him in the sight of all his friends, and confirmed him in the high priesthood, all the honors that he had before, and gave him preeminence among his chief friends.
Stop him. So he said, can't beat him, love him.
It's deep, guys.
Yeah.
Verse 28. Then Jonathan desired the king that he would make Judea free from tribute, as also the three governments with the country of Samaria, and he promised him 300 talents.
Three governments. Huh? I think we got three governments today.
Today.
Babylon, that was Babylon. Okay, I know that's a crazy correlation. Why would
Nah,
I, why
still
would I even
going
try
on.
to connect that?
Same struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, struggle's real. So the king, verse 23, so the king consented and wrote letters unto Jonathan of all these things after this manner. King Demetrius unto his brother Jonathan, and unto the nation of the Jews sendeth greetings. We send you here a copy of the letter which we did write unto your cousin Lesthenes concerning you, that ye might see it. King Demetrius unto his father Lesthenes sending greeting. We are determined to do good to the people of the Jews, who are our friends and keep covenants with us, because of their goodwill toward us. Wherefore we have ratified unto them the borders of Judea, with the three governments of Ephraim and Lydia and Ramathaim, that they that are added unto Judea from the country of Samaria, and all things appertaining unto them, for all such as do sacrifice in Jerusalem, instead of the payments which the king received of them yearly after time, out of the fruits of the earth and of trees.
So Judah liberating all of our lands. Wherever our people were dispersed to. Like, I'm going to need all three of those from Samaria. I'm going to need that.
Everybody. Verse 35. And as for other things that belong unto us, of the tithes and customs pertaining unto us, and as the salt pits and the crown taxes, which are due unto us, we discharge them of them all for their relief. And nothing hereof shall be revoked from this time forth forever. Now therefore, see that thou make a copy of these things, and let it be delivered unto Jonathan, and set upon the holy mount in a conspicuous place. After this, when King Demetrius saw that the land was quiet before him, and that no resistance was made against him, he sent away all his forces, every one to his own place, except certain bands of strangers, whom he had gathered from the isles of the heathen, wherefore all the forces of his fathers hated him. Moreover, there was one Tryphon that had been of Alexander part afore, who seeing that all murmured against Demetrius, went to Samalu the Arabian, that brought up Antiochus, the young son of Alexander, and lay sore upon him to deliver him, this young Antiochus, that he might reign in his father's stead. He told him therefore all that Demetrius had done, and how his men of war were at enmity with him. And there he remained a long season. In the meantime, Jonathan sent unto King Demetrius that he would cast those of the tower out of Jerusalem, and those also in the fortress, for they fought against Israel.
So we're not having that. We want next.
Yeah.
We want next. You don't stand up against Israel. No. We just like nip things in the bud.
Yes. So Demetrius sent unto Jonathan, saying, I will not only do this for thee and thy people, but I will greatly honor thee and thy nation if opportunity serve. Now therefore thou shalt do well if thou send me men to help me, for all my forces are gone from me. Upon this Jonathan sent him 3,000 strong men unto Antioch.
3,000 strong men to Antioch. Jonathan's not playing. We want everybody that spoke up against Israel, anyone that wants to fight Demetrius, we're saying we're friends, right? Turn them over.
Yes. And when they came to the king was very glad of their coming. Howbeit, they that were of the city gathered themselves together into the midst of the city, to the number of 120,000 men, and would have slain the king. Wherefore the king fled into the court, but they of the city kept the passages of the city and began to fight. Then the king called to the Jews for help, who came unto him all at once, and dispensing themselves through the city, slew that day in the city to the number of 100,000.
Judah came through, said, y'all need the help? Y'all not talking to my man.
You mean you only got this 100,000 right here?
I know you're not talking to my mans like that, right?
Yo, it's a real thing, man.
Yeah.
Growing up, get into fights. It used to be crazy.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, I actually get it.
We keep telling y'all, man, it goes through this. He who blesses us shall be blessed. And he who curses us shall be cursed.
Thoroughly.
Period. Yeah.
They murdered 100,000.
100,000. The last war we had did 100,000. That was World War II, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Also, they set fire on the city and got many spoils that day and delivered the king. So when they of the city saw that the Jews had got the city as they would, their courage was abated. Wherefore they made supplication to the king and cried, saying,
That abated means that they left their courage.
Yeah. Verse 50, grant us peace and let the Jews cease from assaulting us and the city.
Stop!
With that they cast away their weapons and made peace, and the Jews were honored in the sight of the king.
So it only takes 100,000 blood. It only takes the blood of 100,000 to convince them to leave Judah alone.
Yes.
Only the blood of 100,000. Think about that.
Yeah.
Go on.
And in the sight of all that were in his realm, and they returned to Jerusalem, having great spoil. So King Demetrius sat on the throne of his kingdom, and the land was quiet before him.
Because Judah laid the law,
Obviously.
the order.
Nevertheless, he dissembled in all that ever he spake, and estranged himself from Jonathan. Neither rewarded he him according to the benefits which he had received of him, but troubled him very sore. After this returned Tryphon, and with him the young child Antiochus, who reigned and was crowned. Then there gathered unto him all the men of war, whom Demetrius had put away, and they fought against Demetrius, who turned his back and fled. Moreover, Tryphon took the elephants and won Antioch.
Now, I want to say this. There's a lot of Antiochs. They keep naming their child Antioch. All to the point that there are Antioch universities to this day in North America. I wonder what they're teaching there, because Antioch here was strictly about backstabbing, cutthroat, just the worst vile people, vile thoughts and vile people. That's our higher education, probably what they teach them how to go to Wall Street. Go ahead.
Verse 57. At that time, young Antiochus wrote unto Jonathan, saying, I confirm thee in the high priesthood, and appoint thee ruler over 4 governments, and to be one of the king's friends. Upon this he sent him golden vessels to be served in, and gave him leave to drink in gold, and to be clothed in purple, and to wear a golden buckle.
Purple.
His brother Simon also he made captain from the place called the Ladder of Tyrus unto the brothers of Egypt.
Here we go.
Then Jonathan went forth and passed through the cities beyond the water, and all the forces of Syria gathered themselves unto him for to help him. And when he came to Ascalon, they of the city met him honorably. From whence he went to Gaza, but they of Gaza shut him out. Wherefore he laid siege unto it, and burned the suburbs thereof with fire, and spoiled them.
You see how it goes? You open up the gates, you show love, we show love.
Yeah.
If not, right now, this is the time when Judah reigned. According to them, the Eastern world was the only known world. We're not going to get into that whole thing about the West. But at that point, this book, for all intent and purposes, speaks of only the Eastern world. So they're running shadow. But remember, Demetrius runs all of Asia. Judah is running Jerusalem, Mesopotamia, and now going into Egypt. They're locking it down, right? So go ahead.
Serious business, y'all. Serious business. Verse 62. Afterward, when they of Gaza made supplication unto Jonathan, he made peace with them, and took the sons of their chief men for hostages, and sent them to Jerusalem, and passed through the country unto Damascus.
Yeah.
He's plowing.
I'm just saying, we're not even going to let you regroup. Give me your sons. This is war.
Tilling the soil with men. Now when Jonathan heard that Demetrius' princes were come to Cades, which is in Galilee, with a great power, proposing to remove him out of the country, he went to meet them.
Yeah, you want movement out the country.
And left Simon his brother in the country. Then Simon encamped against Bethsura and fought against it for a long season, and shut it up.
Shut it down.
But they desired to have peace with him, which he granted them, and then put them out from thence, and took the city, and set a garrison in it.
So we put a fort inside the city.
Oh, yeah.
You want to say you apologize? And we love him. Judah loves because we love thy neighbor.
Tough love.
It's just a shame that we got to smack every neighbor to get any kind of respect or just to live in
my
peace.
Neighbor. Where's the love?
Go ahead.
Iron fist kind of love.
Verse
67. As for Jonathan and his host, they pitched at the river of Gennesar, from whence betimes in the morning they gat them to the plain of Nassor. And behold, the host of strangers met them in the plain, who, having laid men in ambush for him in the mountains, came themselves over against him. So when they that lay in ambush rose out of their places and joined battle, all that were of Jonathan's side fled, insomuch as there was not one of them left,
Wow.
except Mattathias, the son of Absalom,
Mattathias.
and Judah, the son of Calphi, the captains of the host.
Captains of the host.
Then Jonathan rent his clothes and cast earth upon his head and prayed. He ripped his clothes, put earth on his head, and began to pray. Afterwards, turning again to battle, he put them to flight, and so they ran away. Now, when his own men that were fled saw this, they turned again unto him, and with him pursued them to caves, even unto their own tents, and there they camped. So there were slain of the heathen that day about 3,000 men, but Jonathan returned to Jerusalem.
Yeah. Jonathan
Wow.
did not play, and he slew 3,000
Wow.
himself.
His homies left, and him and two other folks were there.
Mattathias was an older man.
Yeah.
Okay, Mattathias an old man. I mean, he was the one that kicked it all off with slicing people in half. But no, this is
His
a younger
son.
Mattathias.
Yeah, this was his son.
Yeah. But he came from his
His name is
grandfather.
Mattathias, yeah, but this is his son.
Yeah.
Wow. The son of Absalom.
Yeah. So 3,000 with 3 men or 4 men.
Yeah. No, 3 of them. No,
Three.
two of them. It was Jonathan with
Mattathias.
Mattathias, the son of Absalom, and Judah, the son of Calphi.
Yeah.
But they were the sons of the captains of the host. So the captain of the armies, their 2 sons stayed. So you got Jonathan and 2 pretty thorough brothers.
Yeah.
It's on.
Because that's all you need sometimes.
Yeah. Wherever 2 or 3 are gathered in his name.
And he will give you the strength to carry on.
Yes.
So that's the end of chapter 11 tonight. We're wrapping our show up now. We have gone over 20 minutes or 16 minutes or so.
Ooh,
It's
nice.
6555 in the building
Word.
of
We
how
putting
long
that
we've been
work
on.
in, y'all.
But so just to bring the theme all the way home, we started off with understanding that the work that we do, this kingdom work, to know that you are required to step up your game because you're giving it to the Most High. It's not for
Yes.
you, it's for Him. And then we move that to understanding that when we don't do it in His name, that it is going to be culturally appropriated. And then from there, understanding that if we're going to do it in His name because we love Him, and He says, well, if you love me, commandments.
Keep my commandments.
Keep my commandments, which is the order that keeps us looking at Him. It's how you know when you're looking to the left or if you're looking to the right. If any one of those places you find yourself not adhering to the 10 commandments or the 10 priorities, then 10 parameters of life, then you know that you are not focused and you're not in line. Mm-hmm. And then we go from there to understanding Maccabees and it being a real life history of us showing how when it's in righteousness, that it doesn't matter what the odds are. It doesn't matter how dire the situation is. That you will have the victory if you're doing it out of righteousness. And you ain't gotta, wait for something to come out the sky, this or that. It's gonna be within you because the truth is in you. So that's where your belief is, and that's where your energy comes from. We put the energy in these beads.
Yes, we do.
In these stones that we wear. Yeah. It's not the other way around. We put the strength in our faith and our covenant. The covenant between us and the Most High is nothing without us bringing the strength and the energy and the love of the Most High into it. Because His never falters. But if He ain't got nothing attached to, so all praises to the Most High,
All
man.
praises to the Most.
Know that these Maccabean is our history that you can compare to any history book. You got the players in here are still, their footprint is still here through universities, through names.
Yes.
We were the only ones that had our names changed. So you can follow their lineage.
And we'll be right there.
Yeah. Love y'all. Shalom.
Peace. And,
Yes. We will see y'all Friday. WBOK.
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Freedom Fridays.
Freedom Fridays, baby. Here we
Yeah,
go.
made it through the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. Looking for it. Not sure what to do with this.
This is just, yeah.